How are you?
My name is Greg Williams, and I work for Raised Edge.
How long have you been with the laser now?
I've been with the laser since early January.
Okay. Speak loud.
I had just basic knowledge with Corel Draw and Adobe Illustrator, and I'd say it took me about maybe 4 weeks to get very comfortable with the program.
So you're talking about LaserWorks or EinsteinWorks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So and now I would say I'm fairly confident with making the artwork, and
This morning you made an adjustment. What was going on?
This morning there was one piece of artwork there where it was burning through the material.
Why?
There was overlapping lines in the artwork that was hard to see.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure, we had to go in and we had to make sure there was no more overlapping lines, because that way the laser will hit twice or overlap, which causes it to hit harder and go through the material.
And that was unusual because why?
We've never had that before. The artwork was a distressed piece of artwork, so it was a different type of artwork. It had a lot of pieces missing from the artwork, a lot of editing. Can
I look at that over there quickly? Is this the one?
Yeah, this is the one.
So this is on soft shell, whatever materials, dry wicking?
Yep.
So what's the issue you have to watch out for?
Well, any in this small design in here, like these are the snowflakes or the snowmobile.
Yeah.
A lot of these here had some overlapping lines and would cause it to hit maybe double or even three times, which would cause it to go through the material.
So is it a big deal to worry about?
It's something to definitely keep an eye out for. It's small, so you have to definitely make sure. And any small details, you need to zoom in and you need to make sure.
Show me some of this wood stuff here.
Here's some wood here.
So you guys are doing textiles. What the hell are you doing wood for?
Well, that's the thing with this laser machine. We found new ways to use it every single day. We're also trying with glass, and with the wood too. We found that it is a beautiful image.
Flip it over. Let me lay it down there steady. So this is what? You got a job. You guys don't do any embroidery. We have the laser. You have the embossing from me, but you're doing other types of decorations you never thought of before. Huh?
Right. Like this Lone Star here was for a restaurant. They had menus, and they just needed the base of their it was a wooden base for their menus with a horseshoe, and the menus would go inside the horseshoe, and they just needed it for the base of this menu. And the guy saw it, and he thought it would be a great feature for his Lone Star Texas Grill. It's almost like a brand, so it goes with his theme in his restaurant.
What, do you got any other wood in there?
This is actually one of the bases.
Yeah.
And this is when we were first trying with the wood.
Yeah.
So this was through our trial runs. So you can see here how it's burning it.
Yeah.
Wasn't giving it a very...
But here you got like a ton of loft once you set it up, right?
Yeah, well, once we set it up and we got the table in the right position, it was burning the image much nicer, much more detail, and it wasn't giving it that burn.
So what do you do with the table quickly? Well, why don't you walk me through a quick job?
Okay. Well, for this job, it's called the Boys and Toys Tour 2011.
Yeah.
So we got a snowmobile on the back.
Why'd you make the masking tape there?
Well, the only reason why I put the masking tape is when we get into a larger run and my preview box isn't here. Let's say I take the preview off.
Okay.
Now I can take my jacket and I can still line up in that general area of where my hit would be.
So you got less movement when you actually go. Okay.
Less movement. I can now hit my preview, and my jacket should be in that general area where it should be. So less movement, and it should be a quicker setup time.
How many piece order is this?
This order, I believe, is only about 15, 20 jackets.
How long does it take you to do a setup for something?
To do a setup, something like this, it would take me about 5 minutes just to set up for production.
And then, okay, well, I guess we'll film how long it takes, right? But you zip through it. Okay. What else? Yeah, so just talk me through. Okay.
So once I have my jacket on here, these jackets were already marked previously. So
and why would you mark it?
Well, the reason why we'd mark it is because for the run, it would be a quicker cycle time per jacket for the run. If we didn't have a mark, then we'd have to put the jacket on and we'd have to do our measurements while we're on the plate. And that takes up more time per jacket.
Okay, so you just measure it on a flat surface?
Measured on a flat surface.
So you do it on this table here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you pile them up over there?
Yep.
That table's mobile?
The table's mobile, so what I usually do is I'll bring the table close here, and then I'll usually have just a chair or another table, or in this case we'll use another chair.
By the way, there's no dust in this place. Unbelievable. There's the embossing machine we sold over there. You got a few dies to things to hit today. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So here we are. We're just lining up with the marks we made previously. There we are. We're set up. So I'll turn my preview off and start to hit.
So how difficult is it to change settings and stuff like that?
It's not too difficult. Once you make the artwork and you test it, then you can see where you need to make the changes. And when you go back to the artwork and make the changes, it's sometimes, depending on the logo, it can take longer than others.
Okay.
And there the hit is done. We only need to make one pass on this material.
Okay, so we're competing with Asia. Show me speed.
Okay. So there's the hit, the finish hit there.
Okay, and okay, we'll just get rid of that wax mark with a bit of heat?
Yes.
Okay.
Grab my next piece and just put it on my lap so it's ready to go for when this one is done.
How big is this logo roughly?
It's about 8 inches wide.
Okay.
8 inches by 4 inches high.
And your day is like 10, 12, 36 piece orders all day long?
Yeah, sometimes we'll have, we've had 250 run orders. Actually, we've had a couple of those orders already. And that'll be a day job, 2 day jobs.
Okay.
Depending on how many hits.
Okay. Like there might be more than one hit per jacket?
Yeah. Like for example, this jacket here is not only getting hit on the back, but also left chest.
Okay.
And one hit per sleeve.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll go through and do all one hits first, and then go back and start doing all the same hit, all on the right shoulder, and then all on the left shoulder. The key thing too is that your material needs to be as flat as possible. If it's not flat, then you can get variations.
Well, if you get a big hump, right?
Then you'll get
Because
variations.
if I look here,
it's fairly flat, but if you get any creases, creases,
well, that would create a shadow, right? Or like a sun can't go where the leaf is there. So
yes.
Yeah, okay. So because you're rolling around, you can do this when you're in a wheelchair one day, right?
Yeah.
When you're old, and your teeth have fallen out. You'll be working here till you're 95.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, we'll get you an electric wheelchair at that time. You don't have to use your leg muscle to push
around.
around.
Cool. Put flames down the side.
We'll laser etch them on. So this logo has a lot of fill, actually, right? So it takes longer than...
It takes longer than most logos, yes, because there is a lot.
It's not, if it would be all words, it would be zipping. Well, the words are really quick there, right?
The words are very quick, but where there is a lot of small details, and yes, it takes longer, or if there's a large fill, then yes, it does.
Okay.
That's why it helps sometimes to have the tape there, because sometimes you'll turn your preview on and it isn't the exact same spot that you need.
You like the touchscreen software?
Sorry?
You like the touchscreen software?
I love the touchscreen. It was something to get used to at first, but now that it's all right here, it's like a little work area, and it's all in reach. You don't have to reach for a mouse or a keyboard or anything.
Do you need a special manicure to use it or anything?
Just make sure your nails are a little trimmed back.
They can write off your manicures, right?
Yeah.
Don't come out with a pedicure joke, okay?
You have to be very careful that you don't touch the garment while it's under there, or else the image will become disoriented. You might have...
Because you moved it while it was etching, right?
Let's say you have Nike, and it starts N-I-K, and somebody bumps into it, you might have the E somewhere it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's always good to have one person at this workstation, not a lot of people moving around.
So you kind of set it up that way, right?
That's right. What I would like to see is
1 second. It's going to be on YouTube, so you can tell me all your major improvements later. What's something you want to see, actually?
Well, one thing that I would love to see is just a cycle counter.
Meaning?
While you're doing the job, as soon as you hit the etch button, it starts a count for each garment that you're doing.
Oh, yeah?
So then that way, let's say if you're doing...
Yeah, it makes sense.
Let's say you're doing 20 passes on something, and you aren't watching the machine, your back's turned for a second, you want to see how far along...
You don't want to count the items, you want to count how many times you did the pass?
And how long it takes to do each pass as well.
Okay, so a timer and a cycle thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
I believe that
do you need it by Wednesday?
No, by Wednesday.
What day is it today?
Tuesday?
Okay, yeah, I'll pass it along to the software guys.
Okay. And then that way, then we can document how long each item takes. We don't need a stopwatch. And
You want a total job timer for that?
Not a total job, but maybe we could have a total job as well.
Okay.
And then also have one for an individual piece.
Okay.
Because then that way we can take those numbers and we can start doing cycle charts.
Okay.
And we can start making our cycles quicker.
Okay.
So we can start.
Well, I'm going to show you this video, and it proves that you talk too much while you do work.
It is
I have it on video now.
You can ask Andy and get me talking when I stop working.
We'll send it to Tom and say, look at Greg here. He just like loves the camera and doesn't work. What product is this? Trimark?
This is Trimark, yes.
Okay.
It's just a polyester mesh woven fleece.
And the other one I had over here, that's also?
That actually has a little, it's polyester, but
That's a soft shell officially, right?
It is officially soft shell, but it also has a little bit of spandex in here.
Okay.
So you might see even some puckering with this, with that type of material.
So you keep the heat low, as we say, right?
Yes.
So that's over here. Where do you adjust that quickly?
Well, what we do is here's the power.
Yeah.
And that would be our heat.
Where is it on the right hand side there? Just show me.
This is our settings here.
Okay.
So our power That's at usually 20% for these kind of garments. But yeah, if we're going to spandex, then we might need to make that lower.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of pulling on the material.
Talking like 5% lower, 2% lower? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me a shout when you do the wood? Do you know when those paddles or those beer trays are coming?
I'm not too sure. I might have a piece of wood that I can hit for you for a sec.
Yeah? Okay. I just want to get a production of that beer thing. Was there anything that intimidated you about learning the laser? Would you say it's easy for most people?
I would say with my basic knowledge of computers and the programming, I would say it's easy, yes.
Yeah. Do you find you get help when you need it from us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Permaboss has been great.
Oh, the check is in the mail. Wow.
Yeah. But no, Tom and Danny have been really good. They've taken a lot of time with us to work out little bugs and to make things a little bit faster for us as well.
Well, guess who's getting the first cycle counter software test, right?
That would be nice.
We're just not going to put your name in the credit when you do the install of software, all the people.
That's okay.
But we will patent it and sell it for billions. How do you feel now?
I'll find you.
So that's it. So now you're going to just go do left chest then? And
now we'll go and do left chest.
Anything harder or more difficult with left chest versus a full back?
I would say left chest is much easier and much faster.
Why do you say that?
Because it's usually a smaller area and it will be a smaller logo. So the cycle times will be much quicker. So now it's not how fast the machine can move, it's how fast the employee can move. So it's much easier to line up.
But you have more area? Oh, I see.
And we actually have things that we can use to line up with our zipper here. We have our line here. So to make sure that it is straight, it's much easier on that smaller area.
Okay, cool. Good. I appreciate your time very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.